They're kind of a brownie cake. Tastes like a devil dog. Let's hop over to the Lee Wellness Brownies. Brownie cake. I do have this recipe, and everything's backwards, by the way, but this is something that I started with another recipe, modified it, so I created it myself here in the Kitchen of Happiness, and I named it Lee Wellness after Dr. Katrina Lee and Larry Lee, my PT person and my strength therapist, who are just phenomenal. They're fantastic. They helped me get my life back, regained, I'm not kidding, I regained about 15 years of my life. So I love those people. Okay, so we're gonna go, I'm gonna see where I'm gonna put you. Let's put you over here against my coffee cup that says, what happens in the kitchen stays in the kitchen. We have black beans, unsweetened applesauce, and a lot of good things. I have my blender, my Vitamix blender, and put that there. And I'm gonna measure in 1.5 cups rinsed black beans. So I already have my black beans rinsed in the sink. Hopefully you're not too far away. I could bring it closer, but just give me a second. Half a cup, and a half a cup. 1.5 cups black beans rinsed. Bottom of the blender. You're good to go on that one. Put you back there. 1 cup of unsweetened applesauce. So there's your beautiful fiber right there. I'm going to turn this on, and it gets, the only thing with this recipe, depending upon your blender and how you put the ingredients in, it gets stuck sometimes, you know, and it's like, so it might be a little loud. But I have I'm going to puree the beans and the applesauce. So I'm just going to put that on there. As the beans and the applesauce are pureeing, I am going to crack 4 eggs, and I'm just going to use that same measuring cup. I'll move the bowl here. Maybe you guys can see a little bit. Not that you really need to see. You like my kitchen? Look how nice that is. Beautiful pans. Happiness is homemade. I love my kitchen. So lonely in here. Okay, so this is going to go on. I'm going to crack 4 eggs. It's going to go on low too. And then I'm going to turn it up. Following so far. Beautiful. Now for the sugar. All right, it calls for sugar. I use for this recipe a product called Swerve. So Swerve is the ultimate sugar replacer. It's a granular. It's not sugar, but it's not nasty like artificial sweeteners as well, because I don't like those things either. So most of you that know me know that I'm not big on a lot of sweetness. This is like the perfect combination. So this here is erythritol, basically. So there's no sugar. There's 4 carbs per serving size. I actually have the breakdown of this when you make this recipe. So each per serving is 90 calories, 9 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and the 2 grams of sugar, which comes from the natural applesauce as well as from this product. So it's fantastic for people who are not having sugar or who are diabetic or whatever. So this is the Swerve Ultimate Sugar Replacer. This is 1 2/3 cup, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. 1 2/3 cup. My measures, the other ones are already wet. Your blender, try to make sure it's moving around in there and doing that thing. I'm going to go with the 2/3 of a cup first. Put it as the liquid is moving up and down and making that vortex. Go ahead and add in your Swerve. I mean, could you do regular sugar? Yeah. Definitely not as healthy. So that's the 2/3 of a cup. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. That's all my stir. It's all gone. Turn this up. Beautiful. I shut that off. When you shut that off, it does that thing. So you want to make sure you have a lid handy. All right, so in the next portion here, I have my bowl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sift and whisk together some of these other ingredients. So I have my sifter, and I have my almond flour. Almond flour is 2/3 of a cup. So that is 1/3, 2/3 of a cup of almond flour. Again, this is gluten-free. Almond gives you all that extra protein as well. Baking powder, I have one teaspoon of baking powder. We always use aluminum-free baking powder. I encourage you to do the same thing. Okay, baking powder. I have Chef Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch. Now, I'm not a big fan of processed foods and things like that. I actually hardly eat anything processed. However, Irvine, besides being a great chef and a lot of fun to watch, he has this powder, and I have the vanilla, and basically there's just like 3 ingredients in here. So it's really, if you're gonna choose a whey protein powder, this is a great option. So I have 2 scoops of this. The reason why I have this was to increase the protein of the brownie cake devil dog thing. So I have 2 scoops of his protein powder in there. And now I also have unsweetened cocoa powder. So that's going to be a 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. This is my 1/2 cup unsweetened cocoa powder. That's all in my sieve, my sifter. I'm going to sift that out. Reason for sifting is to break up any clumps, to get some air in there, get the particles back to being on the smaller side, because then things don't clump as much. Just take the back of whatever else you had from, this was from the baking powder, and just push through any clumps, because cocoa powder will clump. Okay, there we go. That is done. I'm also going to likewise give it a little quick stir, just to incorporate the the whey and all of that. Okay, I talked to you about coffee before. This recipe also calls for instant coffee. I think what happens is the coffee enhances the flavor of the cocoa. I might have said once it's chocolate. It's not chocolate, it's cocoa and the coffee. So our regular instant coffee, we're looking at 1 tablespoon of regular instant coffee. So there we go for that. I didn't sift that in because it's usually a larger granule, but there we go. Just mix that. Perfect. And what else that needs to go into the wet is pure vanilla extract. Those who have been watching know I only use pure vanilla extract. Life is short. Take the pure vanilla extract. And this is 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract. That's going to go into the wet ingredients. Basically now I just need to combine the 2, and this is where some of the difficulty comes in getting the blender to do its thing with the dry. Sometimes it gets stuck. So if you have the Vitamix, just start it on low, try to get that vortex, and then add the dry powder in there. If you don't, you have a regular residential, maybe blender that doesn't play nice, I would recommend doing your wet mix and then putting that into your dry mix and then beating it with the beaters. That'll work too. So just bear with me 1 second. Put this on. That's funny. The vibration of the Vitamix is, putting all that in there, is knocking the phone over every 5 seconds. That's okay. While this is going, we're gonna go over and check on everything else. Ooh, here's the cake. Almost done. You want it to spring back. It's not quite happening. Let's take a look at this. That's working lovely. And let's take a look at the garlic. Garlic is still 100 years behind everything else. All right. While that's going, we're going to prepare the pan. I'm going to put you here, and hopefully it won't fly all over the place. Okay, so what just happened there was we greased the pan, we put in a piece of parchment paper, grease that as well, and then you take the cocoa powder and you dust it. And what that will do is just like when you dust a pan when you're baking a cake and you dust it with flour, if you have a chocolate cake that you're making, in this case this recipe, you can dust it all with cocoa powder, and then it won't stick to the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the mix. That's all ready, by the way. Maybe not all ready. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't act nice with everything as far as the. So we're going to just mix it up by hand a little bit in here. Scrape down the sides. Realistically, this would be, in a perfect world, all mixed very, very well and blended very, very well, which is what happened on the previous one that's in the oven. However, it does get noisy and loud, and so we're going to go ahead and put that in our prepared pan. Look at that. That is a whole lot of love right there. Coffee, cocoa. Excellent. I don't know if, I know people are commenting, I see things, but it's hard to read read the comments. So I appreciate all the love. Okay. Unlike a raw egg product, you can go ahead and give that to your kids to nosh on. All right, we're gonna just spread it out just a little bit so that parchment paper is underneath the wet product. And it doesn't go between. That's all done. Just a tidbit, you don't want to bang too hard on your glass, but if you use your hand, it's a great way. It's a great way to bruise your hand. No, it's a great way to get whatever you want off the spoon without chipping the side of your dishes. This is all ready. We're going to put this in the oven. Hold on. Let's go back here, and the other one should be done, to be perfectly honest with you. It was almost ready. All right, so this is one going in here. And let's take a look at this one. Yep. Yes, this one here is done. Bouncing back, I'm gonna put that to the side. We're gonna put this one in. We're gonna set the timer. I think it takes about 20 minutes. Let me take a look here. I'll tell you in a second. So you're baking that at 395 grease 9x13 pan, and you are cooking it for about 20 minutes, and then you're going to let it cool at least 15 minutes before cutting it and removing it from the pan. If you wanted to decorate it, you can. If you're on a keto, which this actually is going to be, part of this is going to be going to our accountant, who is doing a great job in helping us apply for what we need to apply for. and helping us with everything else. It's keto friendly, and you can pair that with fresh whipped cream, not the one out of the can, but just heavy cream without the sugar, and go ahead and pair that. And I'm telling you, it's like a devil dog, but it's maybe an angel dog. I don't know, because it's good for you. It's much better for you. All right. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to eat now because I'm really hungry. I'm going to make myself some eggs. I'm going to have this beautiful roasted Moroccan spiced cauliflower that has onions and tomatoes. We're going to let that cool. I'll have a little piece of that for dessert. Visit us on not just Facebook, but also on Instagram. And we appreciate your support. We appreciate your love, and we appreciate your gift certificate purchasing. We've had a bit of that lately. But be kind to one another. Have a great day.